G'day guys, Russell here, Prime Motion Training. Just want to take you through a quick video lesson in regards to numeracy skills. Just in our members area here, I'm scrolling down through all the different exam related courses and one of those we have here is numeracy skills. So let me go into that. And the different lessons that we've got here cover all sorts of topics that will show up in your exam. But I just want to scroll down to the bottom here. All of these are individual video tutorial lessons, but down the bottom here, let's scroll a bit quicker, our section number 4, here we go. Now ACER has a practice booklet with some sample questions for applicants who are doing the ACER format. So Victoria Police, QPS and AFP all use ACER formatted exams or entrance assessments. And each one of these videos, 1 to 15, has 2 questions from that book. There's 30 questions in the booklet with practice questions. They provide the answer for you, but they don't actually provide the explanation. So I'm just going to go into lesson number 15, which covers question 29 and 30. And there's an interesting thing going on here with number 30 that you'll see in this video. So I'll let this play. It'll cover question 29 and 30 from that booklet to give you a sense of how we deliver some of the lessons. But again, this is all based on the practice questions in this ACER booklet. I've gone through each one of them and provided the explanations. So I hope you find that helpful. Enjoy. If you have any questions, sing out. Cheers. Bye. Alright, here we are. We've come to the last 2 questions now, and this one relates to working out an average. So if we look at the information provided, ACER is conducting research on the length of time that students spend travelling to and from college. The following are the results for the 6 participants. Now when we're working out averages, the number of participants is important because we're going to have to divide whatever the total is by the number of participants. Okay, of course, with mode of transport may or may not be relevant. The length of time certainly will be. Number of days of college, it may or may not be. Let's have a look at the question. Number 29, what was the average time that the 6 students took to travel to college? Give your answer in hours and minutes. Okay, the average time. To work out the average, we take the total time and we divide it by the number of participants. So it's a bit like handing out a pizza, I suppose. We've got 8 slices, there are 8 people, they get 1 slice each. So that's how we work out the average, the total divided by the number of participants. So let me just punch in some numbers here. Now I'm just going to make it simple for myself and do it all in minutes. So as I work down the column here, you'll see what I'm adding up, or you'll hear what I'm adding up. I'm doing 50 minutes plus. Now I'm just going to do 60 minutes plus another 35 minutes just to keep it simple. 25, now I'm here, so that's 120 minutes plus the other 20 minutes, 50 minutes and 30 minutes. Alright, so I've got a total now of 390 minutes. Now it says here make sure you give your answer in hours and minutes. So I'm going to take the 390 and divide that by 60 minutes. Okay, 60 minutes, of course 60 minutes per 1 hour. And that will give me 6.5. Okay, 6.5 hours. Now, you need to be a little bit careful here because if you just divided that by the 6 participants, you'd end up with an awkward number. So let's now just use, forget the calculator and use our own sort of common sense to work this out. If there are 6 participants and there's 6.5 hours, certainly each person is going to be allocated 1 hour. That leaves us with 0.5 or half of 1 hour. In other words, 30 minutes, okay, left over. So we have to spread that or share that 30 minutes amongst the 6 people. If we did that, it means they would get an extra 5 minutes each. 6 times 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, so each person would have 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay, would be the average travel time. All right, and that's our answer for number 9, 1 hour and 5 minutes. Cool. Alright, lucky last is question number 30. So let's have a look at number 30. This looks like a speed, time and distance one. You can already see what's going on here. Alright, so it says that Mark drives 45 kilometres each way to college. He can usually drive at an average speed of 90 kilometres per hour. Because Mark knows there are roadworks being done, he estimates that the average speed will be reduced to 60 kilometres per hour. How many minutes earlier, okay, we're going to read this carefully, how many minutes earlier does Mark need to leave home so that he gets there at the same time? Okay, that's a little bit different. Let's have a look here. Alright, let's do some calculations now. If he needs to cover 45 kilometres, but he's able to travel at 90 kilometres per hour, then it makes sense that he's not going to need to travel for a full hour. It's only half the distance, so it's only going to take him half the time. So it'll end up being 30 minutes that it actually takes him to get there at that speed. But when he knows that he needs to reduce his speed to 60 kilometers per hour and still cover the same distance, well, again, that's where we just need to look at the proportions, I guess, a little bit like a fraction. It's not going to take him the full hour because he's not traveling 60 kilometers, he's only traveling 45. So if we divided the hour up into 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, okay, that will be enough to get him there. So 3/4 of 1 hour, all right, so which is 45 minutes. All right, so just, I guess, some proportions or fractions to get things into perspective. So now what we know is that the normal time is 30 minutes. However, it's now going to take him 45 minutes. That's clearly a difference of 15 minutes. It's going to take him an extra 15 minutes to travel the same 45 kilometers as it normally would because of the roadworks. So if he normally starts by leaving home at this time to get there at this time, if he left at the same time, of course, he's going to go 45 minutes over and he'll be late. So we need to move this start time back 15 minutes in order to ensure that he finishes here at the same time. Alright, so how many minutes will he need to leave early? Here's the question here again. Mark, how many minutes does Mark need to leave early in order to get there at the same time? He needs to leave 15 minutes early. So if we have a look at the answer here, question number 30, it actually says 5 minutes early. Now, that did my head in for about 2 days before I eventually cracked the poos and rang ACER and spoke to them about it, and in fact this is a typo. So depending on when you're looking at this document, if you've purchased this document from ACER, you'll probably see that in fact this 5 won't be there, it will be a 15. So somebody's left the 1 off that. So just a typo, the correct answer is actually 15 minutes. Alright, well, I hope you found that helpful. That's the end of the 30 questions in ACER's practice booklet. I mean, they're a good sample of the sort of things you're in for when it comes to the entrance exam. Now remember, these questions are relevant to Victoria Police applicants who will be sitting the entrance exam from January 2019 onwards. Alright, again, hope you found that helpful, and I'll talk to you again in another video soon.